The Times of India newspaper readings of Hyderabad, Tuesday, July 29, 2025. US and Chinese officials kick off two-day talks amid at extending their tariff truce beyond a mid-August deadline. CAG report flags states rising deficits. The Telangana's financial position in the first quarter of the fiscal year appears strained. According to the latest report from the Comptroller and Auditor General CAG, the state is grappling with high deficits and lower than expected revenue collections. As of June, the state recorded a revenue deficit of 10,582 crores, meaning it spent that much more than it earned. This is a sharp contrast to the budget's projection of a rupees 2738 crore surplus. Salaries, pensions and subsidies dominate spending. On the expenditure side, a significant portion of the budget has already been used up. Betting sites, Google excesses appear before ED. Google officials appeared before ED on Monday with documents in an ongoing case against some betting websites and online shopping fraud. Meta is also being investigated in yet to spend its representatives is yet to send its representatives. Both social media platforms were to appear before the agency on July 21, but requested it to defer the proceedings by a week. The betting sites have already collected crores from Indian citizens by engaging in illegal activities. This plea shouldn't have been filed. SC to Varma. SC, if you doubt in house procedure, why did you join it? New Delhi. The Supreme Court on Monday told Justice Yashwant Verma, facing removal motion in LS for discovery of sacks of currency notes at his residency premises on March 14th night, that he should not have filed the petition challenging the procedure adopted by the in house committee after fully participating in it. As senior advocate Kapil Sibal, appearing for Justice Verma, began his arguments asserting it is matters of moment. A bunch of justices Deepankar Datta and M.G. Mashi said it is a matter of moment only for the benefit of lawyers who are involved in this petition. This petition must not have been filed. Sibal took the bench through several SC rulings that bad discussion in public and in parliament of alleged misconduct of a judge prior to the debate on the removal motion. He said by uploading video of burning currency notes and communications between the then CJI and Delhi HC related to Justice Verma's explanations on SC website. The petitioner has been vilified, subjected to media trial, and pronounced guilty without an inquiry. The parents refuse custody infant in Hyderabad trafficking racket not at home. Hyderabad caught in the middle of the alleged baby selling racket busted by Hyderabad's police. The fate of a nearly 2-month-old infant now hangs in the balance. As per protocol, the boy has been temporarily shifted to the government-run Vihar in Amirpet, but what his future holds is tough to guess just yet. The city couple who was given the infant on June 5 by Universal Srishti Fertility Center in Secunderabad run by Prime accused Dr. Namrata under the false pretext of the kid being their biological son has refused to take him back And while the Child Welfare Committee (CWC) rules allow for the biological parents to stake claim to the child till up to the 2 months from the day he or she is taken to the shelter home, even that appears unlikely as the parents are in Chanchalguda jail. Nayara moves HC over MS blocking access. Nayara Energy moved Delhi HC against Microsoft for un- unilaterally blocking system access and its own data, a move the Ronsniff backed company described as a dangerous corporate corporate overreach. With serious implication for India's energy ecosystem. Microsoft seems to have acted on its interpretation of EU sanctions on Nayara's Gujarat refinery in a bid to throttle Russian oil's export. The refinery, which can process 20 million tons annually, is among the big buyers of Russian crude. Rigid caste lines, less than 5% intercaste marriages in Hyderabad. Despite decades of social reform and urbanization, caste remains a powerful force in Telangana's social fabric. The first ever backwardness index data accessed by TOI paints a revealing picture. Fewer than 5% of marriages in the state are intercaste, a striking indicator of how enter, entrenched caste identity remains. Even in the cities like Hyderabad, Warangal, Karimnagar, and Nizamabad, the data also shows that only 3.4% of individuals opted to identify themselves as having no caste in the recent caste survey. Significantly, all of them belong to upper caste backgrounds. While rejecting caste identity might appear progressive on the surface, it also underscores who feels socially secure enough to do so. Caste continues to function not merely as social tag but as a marker of belonging, heritage, and in many cases perceived social hierarchy. The reluctance to marry outside one's caste seen not only among upper castes but also within marginalized communities like BCs, SCs, and STs reflects an enduring anxiety about persevering identity and community boundaries. Maha bars staff from online criticism of government. Flagging dangers of use of social media, Maharashtra government has laid out guidelines for its use by the state government employees, which include a bar on criticism of government policies. A GR issued Monday referred to misuse of social media by giving adverse comments about government policies or any political event or person in violation of the government service rules. UP doc sleeps man bleeds to death in hospital. A junior resident doctor of Lala Lajpat Rai Memorial Medical College and Hospital in Meerut was suspended on Monday for alleged negligence after a 30-year-old accident victim from a nearby village bled to death when he was left unattended for hours at the emergency ward. In a video, the doctor could be seen sleeping in front of an AC. The royal game demystified what you might not know about chess. Indian chess is having a golden run. from Gukesh D defeating world champion Magnus Carlsen to Prag- Pragnananda beating him twice, to India's men's and women's teams winning a gold at the Chess Olympiad, the country has established itself as a global chess powerhouse. The latest triumph came as 19-year-old Divya Deshmukh defeated veteran Koneru Hampi in an All India final to win the fight in Women's World Cup. As chess becomes more popular, here's a quick explainer to help understand five basics of the game. Is playing with black a disadvantage? In chess, white always makes the first move. This gives white a tiny initial advantage as they can immediately start developing pieces and dictating the flow of the game. Black, on the other hand, has to react to the white's first move. While this first move advantage is small at the grandmaster level and doesn't guarantee a win for white statistically, white does win slightly more often than black. Think of it like starting a race a fraction of a second before your opponent. World champion versus World Cup in chess. What's the difference? The world champion is the undisputed reigning champion of the chess. To become the world champion, a player must win a series of highly competitive matches leading up to a final match against the current champion. This title is held by only one person at a time and signifies being the very best player in the world. The FIDE International Chess Federation World Cup is a major knockout or tournament. Players compete in a series of head to head matches, with the loser being eliminated until the winner remains. While winning the World Cup is a prestigious achievement and often qualifies players for the World Championship cycle, it doesn't automatically make them world champion. Think of it like the difference between winning a major golf tournament like the Masters versus being ranked the number one golfer in the world. Why do women and men play separately when chess isn't a physical sport? While chess is a mental sport, historically there have been fewer women playing chess professionally compared to the men. This has led to the establishment of women only tournaments and titles like Women Grandmaster to encourage more female participation, provide more opportunities for women to compete for titles and prize money, and help bridge the gap in numbers. It's not about the physical differences but about fostering growth and representation in the sports for women. Men are generally allowed to compete in women's tournaments, but it is rare. Conver- Conversely, women are allowed to compete in open. The significance of resigning a game. Unlike many other games in chess, it's common and considered good sportsmanship to resign a game before checkmate is delivered. A player resigns when they realize their position is hopeless and there's no way to avoid defeat. It saves time and acknowledges the opponent's superior play, forcing an opponent to play out an already lost game until checkmate can sometimes be seen as disrespectful in high level play. The ELO rating system. How players are ranked. The ELO rating system is a method for calculating relative skill levels of players in competitor versus competitor games like chess. After every rated game, player's elo rating changes based on the outcome of the game and the ratings of their opponents. Beating a much higher rated player significantly boosts your rating, while losing to a much lower rated player drops it considerably. It is it's a dynamic system that reflects a player's current strength. Bar versus bench. Madras HC to lawyer sparks conflict. Ex judge's black lawyer Hetzi says. Ex judge's back lawyer says interference in judicial process. Madurai, Chennai. You are a comedy piece. I don't know who called you a revolutionary. Justice G.R. Swaminathan of Madras HC told Madurai based advocate S. Vanchinathan, who had been summoned to the court Monday, admits protests by several bar associations against the notice or any contempt action against Vanchinathan. A division bench of Justices Swaminathan and K. Rajashekar said it was not a contempt notice but only a pre-cognizance notice, noting that the notice was sent for a scandalizing campaign carried out by Vanchinathan on social media. The judges referred the matter to the Madras HC Chief Justice for further proceedings. The first bench of Justices Maninandra Mohan Srivatsava and Sundar Mohan, before which the matter was mentioned on Monday, said that said the issue would be dealt with in the administrative side of the HC. On July 24, a division bench in Madurai had first summoned Vanchinathan after he wrote a letter to the CJI complaining about Justice Swaminathan's orders and conduct, both inside and outside court, taking exception to social media posts related to issue. The judges asked Vanchinathan if he still stood by his allegations. To this, the advocate replied he would respond only if the query was given in writing. The judges then ordered the court registry to issue a questionnaire to Vanchinathan. However, on July 26, never seven However, on July 26, seven former judges of Madras HC wrote a common representation seeking the withdrawal of proceedings against Vanchinathan. For their part, several bar associations had declared that they would hold protests in front of the principal bench as well as the Madurai bench of HC. Besides the district court in Madurai, several political parties has also issued statements against initiating contempt against Vanchinathan. On Monday, there were protests at several courts. The bench on Monday expressed dissatisfaction with the former judges who had signed the representation and said, "We have to record our dismay as to how such interference with the judicial process can be made. Several assumptions which have no factual basis have been made. We characterize their approach as most unfortunate. Vanchinathan has mobilized a group of lawyers and re- retired judges to rush to his rescue," they said, adding, "They have also passed reckless comments without waiting for today's outcome. Gratuitous appeals and advice have poured forth. We ignored them with the contempt they deserve, cautioning the communal campaigns on social media would eventually weaken the judicial system itself," the bench said. The time has come to regulate the level of discourse on social media. In the name of freedom of speech and expression, one cannot condone acts of contempt. The channels which rake in money by such slanderous campaigns will have to be taken head on. Lawyers who make such statements are guilty of professional misconduct. There is something called Lakshman Rekha, which is if crossed must invite peril. Lawyers and judges belong to one large family, said the bench, adding, when a judge sits on the dais, he discharges his judicial duties as per his concise and by strictly adhering to the judicial oath. He cannot be seen as carrying on his caste or religious labels while on the bench. If someone continues to have such a perception, he obviously has jaundiced eyes. Baby orphaned in HP floods is now child of the state. Kullu. The 10-month-old Nikita, who was orphaned in the June 30 flash floods in Himachal's Mandi district, has been declared a child of the state, with government pleading to support her expenses, including higher education and professional studies. Nikita was asleep when a flash flood struck in the dead of the night and swept her parents Ramesh and Radha Devi and grandmother Pornu to their deaths in Talwara village. Her father's body was found, but there is still no sign of women who are presumed dead. Orphaned yet surrounded by love, Nikita was cared for by the village. Her relatives and Mandi district administration began receiving calls from couples, even from abroad, to adopt her. However, the family decided Nikita would be in the care of an aunt. Now, the state government has brought the baby under the Mukhyamantri Sukh Ashray Yojana, rendering her eligible to receive 4,000 monthly till she turns 27. Mandi Deputy Commissioner Apurv Devgan said rupees 8,000 for July and August has already been credited to Nikita's savings bank account. Devgan said children who lost their loved ones in the disaster would be provided support through the welfare schemes. Amid Bihar's SIR drive, a dog gets a residence certificate. Patna. Every dog has this day. In Bihar, some have other verified addresses when many voters are struggling to convince the poll panel about theirs. The claws are out after a residence e certificate issued to a dog in Patna's Masauri area surfaced, listing one dog Babu as the applicant, Kutta Babu as the father, and Kutia Devi as the mother. The document was issued to an online applicant who apparently used others' other details and remains untraced. It was issued on July 24th when the EC's special intensive revision SIR of electoral rolls was on ahead of assembly elections later this year. The howler has sparked an outcry from the opposition that has already protested SIR in the NDA governed state and led many to wonder whether Bihar's e-governance systems had gone wonky. Such residence certificates are among documents EC has been insisting on during the drive to purge the rolls of alleged bogus and illegal voters. Masauri SDO Abhishek Kumar disclosed that the online application was fraudulently supported by an Aadhaar card of one Viba Kumari and with a Delhi address. The applicant also used the Aadhaar of her husband Ajit Kumar, also with a Delhi address, the SDO said, adding an FIR had been filed against the unknown applicant, an IT assistant, and a revenue officer who handled the matter. For a caste issued in Mussoorie, the documents should have reflected a local address, a basic criterion overlooked due to negligence. IT assistant Rakesh Kumar has been removed, while Revenue Officer Maurari Chauhan, who approved the application without verification, faces suspension, said partner DM Tyagaranjan SM. The blooper became a lightning rod for political outrage and mockery, with opposition parties slamming the Nitish Kumar led NDA government and EC. The row comes in the backdrop of the SC's observation that Aadhaar and EPIC voter cards should be valid for SIR. The RJD mascot and the state leader of opposition Tejasvi Prasad Yadav took a biting swipe. Nothing moves in Bihar without paying a bribe. Earlier, Aadhaar cards were made in the names of Sunny Leon and CM Nitish Kumar. The dog must have paid some bribe too. The Tejasvi further said people can now understand how intensive this so called revision was. What more proof does one need about the far- farcical nature of this exercise? Congress also reacted sharply, saying it seems the votes of the people would be taken away and given to the dogs. Purnia MP Rajesh Ranjan alias Pappu Yadav posted a copy of the certificate on social media platform X and wrote, "A dog is showing its residence certificate while human beings are unable to provide evidence." Activist and syphologist, syphologist Yogendra Yadav echoed the concern, saying, "This is the same certificate acceptable in SIR while Aadhaar card, Aadhaar and ration cards are being called fake." Trump sets a new deadline of 10 to 12 days for Russia, asking it to either make a progress towards ending the war in Ukraine in this period or face consequences, underscoring its frustration with Putin for over 3-year-old conflict. Thailand and Cambodia agreed to an unconditional ceasefire starting at midnight. Malaysia MP Malaysian PM Anwar Ibrahim says a significant breakthrough to resolve 5 days of border clashes that killed dozens and displaced tens of thousands. A gunman shot and killed 5 people at a popular fresh food market in the Thai capital after before killing himself. Police say attributing the shooting to a personal grudge. Coach Gautam Gambhir says the team has not ruled out playing pace ace Jasprit Bumrah in the final test against the England at the Oval this week as India seek to avoid a serious series defeat. Gangster wanted in 24 cases shot dead. W. Yadav, 45 years, wanted 45 years of age, wanted in 24 criminal cases in Bihar and UP, was shot dead in an encounter with a team of UP STF and Bihar police in Hampur, Hapur Sunday. The gangster fired at cops when cornered and was hit in the chest when they fired back. Yadav was the prime accused in the abduction and murder of Hamneta this May. At UPSTF headquarters in the Lucknow, additional DG Law and Order Amitabh Yash Monday said the encounter took place at 11:55 p.m. Sunday near the Badda Canal bridge in Hapur. 5 pilgrims killed as vehicle falls into PB Canal. 8 people died after an overlooked pickup van ferrying van ferrying 25 pilgrims plunged into a canal in Ludhiana late Sunday. They were returning from Naina Devi temple in Himachal. Some of the occupants managed to swim to safety somewhere incredibly lucky. One of the survivors who had taken a lift from near Rara Sahib said he grabbed a tree branch and clung to it as the pickup fell into the canal. At 1.5%, IIP slows to 10-month low. Industrial output growth slowed to a 10-month low in June, pulled down by a contraction in mining and electricity sectors and sluggish capital goods and durable segments. The index of industrial production rose an annual 1.5% in June, slower than the upwardly revised 1.9% in May and below 4.9% in June last year. Sunny Shrine Trust by DYCO ends life. Ni- Nitin Sethi, 43 years old, Deputy CEO of Shani Singnapur Temple Trust in Maharashtra, was found hanging in his Ahilya Nagar home on Monday. The temple trust is currently under scrutiny due to allegations of corruption in its day to day functioning. The police said so far nobody has been named in the cheating case, which is under investigation. SDM gets ransom call, death threat. Ritu Rani, SDM of UP's Dampur, has received a text message in which the sender demanded a ransom of rupees 15 lakh and threatened to kill her if she failed to pay up. The sender said she would meet the same fate as that of NIA DSP Tanzil Ahmad, who was shot dead in 2016. The SDM's security has been tightened. India pioneers world's first Intel tiger rebuilding. India is preparing to send around 6 wild tigers to Cambodia's Cardamom Mountains, where the spices was declared extinct in 2016. This marks the first international reintroduction of the wild tigers and mirrors India's earlier success with Panna, where tigers were reintroduced in 2009 after extinction, reports P. Naveen. The project follows India's 2022 cheetah reintroduction from Africa, but experts say tigers require far more territorial stability and prey biomass. According to the MOU, India will provide Cambodia with technical expertise and financial support. Teen Queen Divya, first Indian to win Women's Chess World Cup. Nagpur's Divya Deshmukh, 19 years old, made history by becoming the first Indian and the youngest ever to win the FIDE Women's Chess World Cup in Georgia Monday. In a dream All India final, she took control of the clock to surprise reigning women's world rapid champion, 38-year-old Koneru Hampi, 2.5 was 1.5. Divya took the rapid route to glory after drawing both her classical games with Humpy on Saturday and Sunday. Divya, who was the world's youngest woman FIDE master in 2013, also became the only the fourth Indian woman to earn the GM title after Humpy are Vaishali and Harika Dronavalli. With this win, Divya took her tally of international gold medals to 24 while representing India on 41 occasions. In her 14-year journey on the 64 squares, she conquered the world on 4 occasions. In 2014, she won the under 10 world title before becoming U12 world champion in 17 last year. She was crowned world junior champ, becomes fourth Indian woman GM. I need time to process it. When I think it was fate me getting GM title this way, because before this tournament I didn't even have one GM norm earlier, Divya Deshmukh says. A great celebration of Indian chess, Vishwanathan Anand says. Indian chess is just unbelievable, Judith Polgar says. Greatest ever woman chess player. Terrorist who led Palgam attack killed in German Kashmir gunfight. Two others also shot dead in OP near Srinagar. Over 3 months after Pakistani terrorists gunned down 26 civilians, including 25 terrorists at Palgam, the army's paracommandos have killed Suleiman, believed to be the lead killer of the gang, in the Chigam forest area on the outskirts of Srinagar. Two other terrorists were also killed in a joint operation involving the army, CRPF and JK police, though there was no clarity yet on their involvement in the Palgam massacre. All the three terrorists killed on Monday in Operation Mahadev were Pakistani nationals and linked to Lashkar-e-Taiba and its offshoot, the Resistance Front, as per sources. A source indicated that the two terrorists killed with Suleiman could be Abu Hamza and Yasir, but officials would run more checks before confirming their identity. There was no official statement on Operation Mahadev. Oh, however, sources told TOI that Palgam has been avenged with the killing of Suleiman, a former Pakistani Special Forces commando who had trained at Lit, Lit Mur, Murdi Hub in Pakistan's Punjab province before crossing the LOC in 2022 to enter Jammu region with his M4 weapon in the operation. In LS, Ranjat Jaishankar reject Trump mediation claim as Kong's Gogoi flags it. The government in Lok Sabha on Monday rejected the opposition's charge that Operation Sindoor was halted under pressure from the US as claimed by President Trump, with both Defense Minister Rajnath Singh and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar asserting that the offer came from Pakistan and India acted on it after achieving the objective of the operation. Opening the debate, Singh said the overall politico military objective of the operation was to punish Pakistan. Ho- Homegrown terror. PC draws BJP flag. BJP said Congress was speaking Pakistan's language after party veteran P. Chidambaram said in an interview that homegrown terrorists could be involved in the Palgam attack and that it was wrong to assume they were from Pakistan for fighting a proxy war in the form of terrorism and it has just been paused, not ended. If Pakistan again tries to carry out any nefarious act, we are fully prepared for an even more intense and decisive action, he said. Claims of stopping the operation under pressure are baseless, he said, flagging Trump's claim that he leveraged trade to impose a ceasefire on India and Pakistan. Congress Deputy Leader in the House, Gaurav Gogi, said, before whom did PM Narendra Modi surrender? Jaishankar said, no stage in any conversation with the US were trade and Sindoor linked. The refutation comes at the time when talks with US over a trade deal are delicately poised with 72 hours to go. Results matter, not whether pencil broke, pen lost. Before executing Operation Sindoor, our forces studied every aspect and chose the option that would cause maximum damage to terrorists while ensuring no harm to innocent civilians. Operation Sindoor demonstrated that the India will not remain silent if anyone harms its citizens. In any exam, results matter, not whether the pencil broke or the pen was lost, said Rajnath Singh, Defense Minister. The Trump has made the claim 26 times that he used the threat of trade to bring a ceasefire between India and Pakistan. He says 5 to 6 jets have been downed. One jet is of crores and crores of rupees. That is why we want to know from the defense minister. The country has the courage to listen to the truth. He must answer as to how many fighter jets were downed, said Gaurav Gogi, Kong, Kong by DY leader in LS. They they do not have faith in the Minister of External Affairs, S. Jaishankar, who has taken oath as member of Indian government. On his statement that Trump did not mediate the ceasefire, they trust some other country, said Amit Shah, Home Minister. Have you ever heard that a player batting at 90 and heading towards a century declares the innings? Only Modi ji can do this. Suspension of Operation Sindoor, no one else, said Kalyan Banerjee, Trinamool. The country was so angry over Palgam attack that by the third day people wanted not Operation Sindoor but Operation Tandoor to throw terrorists into that tandoor. But operation happened 17 days later, said Ram Shankar Rajbar. Sindoor is not a success till you find those terrorists. Until you catch the terrorists, it cannot be celebrated, said Supriya Sule, NCP. CM led team to seek press assent for BC quota bills. State team to meet Murmu early next month. Hyderabad. The state cabinet meeting on Monday unanimously decided that a delegation led by Chief Minister A. Revant Reddy will embark on a 3-day visit to Delhi from August 5 to meet President Draupadi Murmu. They will urge the president to approve the two bills pertaining to 42% reservations for the backward classes BCs in local bodies, education and government jobs, and the ordinance removing the 50% cap on the reservations. As a result, sources said a decision on going for Panchayat elections will be taken depending on the outcome of the visit of the delegation, which will also comprise ministers, MPs, MLAs, and MLCs to the national capital. The cabinet, after a nearly 5 hour marathon discussion on panchayat elections and BC reservations uh, with High Court directions to complete the poll before September 30, unanimously decided to seek an appointment with the President Murmu. As per information available with us, Governor Jishnu Dev Varma has sent the ordinance to the President. We we are expecting a positive response from her. If not, the future course of action, including staging a protest at Jantar Mantar, will be decided. BC Welfare Minister Ponnam Prabhakar told the media the Congress government is committed to implement a 42% quota for BCs in local bodies, education, and employment. We are hopefully the president the president will approve the bills because 50% cap fixed by the Supreme Court was breached when 10% EWS reservations were extended by the center. There are also clear guidelines from the SC that states can provide BC quota based on significantly obtained empiri- empirical data. Two electrocuted, 46 hurt at UP's Barabanki temple, Lucknow. Two devotees were electrocuted and 46 suffered minor injuries after an electric wire snapped and fell onto a thin shed on the premises of Sri Aushaneshwar Mahadev temple in Hydergarh Tehsil of UP's Barabanki district Monday. The incident occurred during Jalabhishek rituals when the temple was teeming with devotees and led to a stampede like situation, reports Patrikrit Chakrabarti. However, the deaths and injuries weren't caused by the near crush. DGP Rajiv Krishna said the electric wire Mansa tragedy, none dared touch victims. A day after a stampede at Mansa Devi temple left 8 people dead and 20 injured, it emerged Monday the crowd nearest to the victims initially avoided touching them following rumors they had been electrocuted. The electric wire broke after monkeys jumped on it, accusing it to fall onto the shed. Baram Barbanki DM Shashank Tripathi said. NMC clamps down on live surgeries. The National Medical Commission NMC has clamped down on the live surgeries except those involving new procedures. In its latest guideline on the live surgeries, the NMC apex body for regulating medical education and profession in the country stated that only new procedures should be broadcast alive. For established procedures or high risk cases, it said recordings should be preferred. The NMC has, however, effectively turned down the demands to ban live surgeries. From September 2nd, US visa interview waiver only in special cases. The US was further tightened its non immigrant visa norms, including conditions for interview waivers. From September 2nd, all non immigrant visa applicants, including applicants under 14 and those over 79, will generally require an in person interview with a consular officer, bearing a few exceptions. The US State Department Department said in a July 25 debate. One exception includes the applicants renewing a full validity B1, B2, B1 or B2 visa within 12 months of the prior visa's expiration and who were at least 18 years old at the time of the prior visa's issuance. To be eligible for an interview waiver, applicants renewing a full validity B1, B2, B1/B2 visa applicants must also meet certain criteria, including that they apply in their country of nationality or residence, have never been refused a visa unless such refusal was overcome or waived, and have no apparent or potential ineligibility, the update says. No interim stay. The bench tells petitioners to give a schedule by today of the time likely to be taken by each counsel to help court hear the case on day-to-day basis. Any document can be forged, says SC on EC's apprehension of fake Aadhaar cards, says EC can prosecute each such individuals. The earlier order is clear. There cannot be any interim order in this case, SC tells petitioner's advocate.